Hey y'all, Rick Sky here. Welcome back to the live show. That's right, if you're watching this, and it is approximately 5:40 p.m. New York City time. This is a live show, East Coast, United States of America. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started here. Got a lot of studio live streams in the works. I've got actually was chatting with Hybrid Life the other day, and we're gonna be doing a timepieces for tomorrow live show, so I'm excited about that. Drones, man, kind of disappointed with the price of the Mavic 3. It's just, I don't know what y'all think, but just a little, well, not a little, considerably too high. I mean, I've got the base model, and then I've got the cinema version, which is just astronomically priced. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's it's a shame. It's a shame that they've jacked the prices up so much. And reality is that for professional work, you can use a DJI Mavic Air 2S. It's got a 1-inch sensor, plenty good, plenty professional. So, I don't see the business need to go with anything greater. And then for portability, you got the DJI Mini 2, which has 4K, and you can use that footage from the Mini 2 in professional scenarios. I mean, it doesn't have a 1-inch sensor, but you can get great quality out of it, especially if you're using it for B-roll. Kind of a secondary camera. That's it's always good. Got people tuning in. Who we got tonight? Who we got this evening on the live stream? Man, there's traffic. A bunch of traffic. Gotta watch out. It's not safe. That's why I stay in the abandoned parking lots of the world. Because it's, somebody'd have to be really distracted to run off the road. It can happen. Seen it happen a lot. But generally speaking, walking in a deserted field in an abandoned parking lot is probably safer. Probably. But nothing's guaranteed, man. Nothing at all. And that's, speaking of guarantees, I had a great experience. Don't know if you've heard of the shoe company. It's called Keen, K-E-E-N. Really good hiking shoes. And I had an issue with one pair of my Keens, and I'd had them for over a year. But I explained to him, I said, hey man, I got these to wear for water crossings and that sort of stuff. And I said, I've worn them maybe 5 times, since I purchased them new. And long story short, they stood behind the product. So I've got a replacement pair of Keens coming. Excited about that. Hybrid Life, I know you're out there watching, and I tried on those Hoka 1-1s. They're hiking shoes that are waterproof. Man, those things are incredible. You are not joking about the comfort of the Hoka 1-1s, and probably the next pair of tennis shoes that I get will probably be Hoka 1-1s. But I don't know, getting back on the treadmill and stuff in the gym, I don't like to wear anything expensive for that. I just, like a cheap $30 US or so deeply discounted tennis shoe. Because, the bottoms are going to wear out from the treadmill. It'll rapidly wear out your sole of your tennis shoe. And that gets expensive to replace. I mean, if you're buying, $100 shoes to wear on a treadmill, it's kind of stupid. So, I like to keep the price point around $30. Fly Right Drones, welcome back, sir. Always good to have you. What's the latest in the drone? Fly Right Drones, are you getting the Mavic 3? Nope. Are you going to get it? I can't. I mean, if somebody wanted to ship me one to review, honestly review, I'd be happy to do that. But the price point, even for the base model Mavic 3, in my opinion. Oh, and you can find them all. Go to epicdroneshow.com and click buy a drone. Y'all go there, you can find all the latest DJI drones. But yeah, it's just too expensive in my opinion. I mean, if I want pro quality with a 1-inch sensor, I'm going to do the Mavic Air 2S. If I need something more portable yet still capable, I'm going to get the DJI Mini 2. You know, I mean, I hear you. I mean, it's nope, too expensive for what it is. I strongly agree, and I hate to say that. I mean, you know, DJI has priced themselves out of reach of a lot of their customers, and it's a shame because, you know, I'd really love to review that drone. You know, it'd be a great drone to review, but you know, for that price point, man, I mean, that's just too much. And you know, what if there was a malfunction or something? Then you're you know, you're not losing a few $100. You know, you're potentially losing thousands of dollars. I mean, that's just a little much. I mean, now, you know, if travel right now wasn't so difficult and inconvenient, you know, I would do, actually, I just use the Mavic Air 2S because I can get 1-inch sensor 4K video from it. And for me, it's not, you know, I just, not to mention the new smart controller is, that's ridiculous. I mean, get you an iPhone and strap it on the controller. It works fine. I mean, that's just, yeah, I mean, the prices, and you know, part of me thinks that, you know, DJI is just kind of testing the waters. You know, how much would people be willing to spend? And you know, there's a situation where it's a little bit more than someone would want to spend, but then it gets to where it's significantly more. And I bet, and again, this is an assumption. I don't know. I don't see their books or anything, but my assumption would be that their, you know, units sold is probably not that significant in comparison to other drones. Because, you know, even with their entry level Mavic 3, yeah, I think it's, yeah, it could be. You could construe it as price gouging. I think it's more of they're just like, well, you know, let's see how far we can push the customer and they'll still buy. And I have a feeling that, you know, maybe they pushed the envelope so far this time just to confirm that they're priced way too high. You know, if they look at their units sold, they're probably going to see that it's insignificant in comparison to previous models of drones. And I mean, I love reviewing these things, man. I like flying them, you know, I do, and I would, you know, love to review it, but in all sincerity, there's just nothing really new that, you know, that the Mavic 3 brought to the table. I mean, it's just, probably says, I think DJI saw what Autel was charging for the controller they have and priced it accordingly. Yeah, Flymore at $3,000, that's ridiculous. I mean, there's so many things that I would rather spend that kind of money on. I mean, that's just high quality and gimbal stabilization. You know, I already mentioned, I mean, you can use the Mavic Air 2S. You got a 1-inch sensor, man. Yeah, and he said, and that just comes with a standard controller and then no LCD screen. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Way too expensive. So I don't think I'm alone with this opinion. I think, you know, I mean, unless there's people that are back in action. Kyle C, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm back. I've been doing did about 100 miles on the Appalachian Trail. And I've got a lot of videos I'm going to be posting. Now, keep in mind, when I say the Appalachian Trail, there is one trail, the famous trail that's named the Appalachian Trail. So I've got a lot of footage from there. Did many miles on it, but also did a lot of miles on trails that intersect the Appalachian Trail. So I've got a bunch of videos coming. One of those was an overnight backcountry camp, and it's it was over 4,000 feet, and just really, yeah, it was great exercise. We had bears everywhere. Got to the campsite, there was bear scat. I mean, it was an adventure. You're always on the edge, and it's backpacking is one of those things that everybody should do. All right, Jones says, I watch a bunch of videos, and honestly, I don't see the difference between the footage. Yeah, and that's the thing. Most people probably won't. And what are you? Here's the way I look at the Mavic 3. You've got something that video quality difference may be negligible at best. You've got significantly more money floating around in the sky. So if something unforeseen occurs and you lose that drone, your loss, your financial loss is greatly enhanced. So, not that should happen, but when I'm doing drone flights, yeah, Adam says, unless you make money flying a drone, this isn't for you. And hey, even if you do make money flying a drone, I think, it depends on your style of operation. Do you want to keep costs low and keep quality high? I mean, if there was a huge quality difference that someone could demonstrate and say, okay, well, here's an inexpensive drone with a 1-inch sensor, or a less expensive drone with a 1-inch sensor. Here's the Mavic 3, and then here's the Cinema Mavic 3, and they perform demos side by side, and you got to see the footage. If one was radically superior, from a business's perspective, if you're commercially capturing video and you've got something that costs a few $1,000s more, that quality difference could be worth the spend. But I just don't see it. And I mean, I've filmed a bunch of cool stuff. With my Mavic 2 Pro, I filmed Jeffrey Epstein's island. I mean, I've filmed some really cool stuff. But I look back at that and I'm like, okay, well, if I had fast forwarded 3 years or however many years and used a Mavic 3 or a Mavic 3 Cinema, would that video have been dramatically superior? And I don't think so. Only professional use pros anyway. Yeah, it's I don't know. Just too much. And again, give me a 1-inch sensor or better camera, and I'm happy. And that's what I get with the Mavic Air 2S. I don't need, for my professional work, I don't need anything better than that. I mean, I really don't. And why do I say Mavic Air 2S instead of Mavic 2 Pro? ProRes. Yeah, ProRes, if you're not familiar, everyone, the Fly-Right drones just mentioned, ProRes is it's a video format that in Final Cut Pro 10 on a Mac, just a really very easily digestible and color correctable format. I don't even use ProRes. I mean, I don't even have a camera that's capable of ProRes. I know you can, let's see, I use the Sony a7R4. But yeah, it's just, and some people get this too because, for whatever reason in their business or whatever, they want the, the bragging rights associated with having the most current tech. But, at the end of the day, all it is a flying camera. It doesn't matter if it's bright orange, if it's, got flashing lights or whatever on it. It doesn't really matter. I mean, what matters is that video that's captured, is it stable? Is it clear? And is it easy to color correct? And if it is, what more does one need? You don't have to have an overkill drone. But, and as much as Fly-Right drone says files are huge and you have to have a beefy computer to even edit ProRes, you're right. Now, I tell you, the Apple Silicon computers, even the original ones, like I use the M1s, they'll tear through that. I mean, they can really handle it. But, you know, and that's, I mean, in theory, if you did want to edit ProRes, I mean, you could get by with an Apple Silicon MacBook Air M1. I mean, that's how powerful it is. Now, if you were working multiple projects at once, you'd probably want something a little bit beefier. But yeah, I do with my iMac M1 and MacBook Air M1, I chew through 4K video editing from my Sony a7R4. And, you know, it churns through it like a boss. So that's, but yeah, ProRes, a little bit different animal. You know, won't even, you need an even beefier, to your point, even beefier editing system. So it's, I don't know, man. I mean, it's disappointing that they released the drone so ridiculously priced, because, you know, I love getting these things, taking them out in the field and reviewing them. But I just, you know, unless somebody donates one, you know, I'm not I'm not going to be reviewing it. The DJI Mini 2 is my favorite of my drones. And I have the Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic Air 2S. Sorry, my messages disappear. And Phantom 4 Pro. Yeah, Mini 2's hard to beat, man. Small, lightweight, USB rechargeable, 4K video. I mean, it's good battery life. To be so small and lightweight, it's well made. It handles the wind pretty well for that size. It's got long range. I mean, obviously, fly line of sight to be safe and responsible. But, you know, I mean, it's, I'm with you. I'll say the DJI Mini 2 is my favorite drone as well. And if I needed just a little bit higher tech, you know, I do the video a little bit beefed up, I do the Air 2S. But, yeah, I mean, it's, DJI's pricing. Now, I do have a drone, and I hope I can get it off the ground. I'm going to try again. I did everything by the book. I looked up third-party help articles online. I've got a drone called a Holy Stone. You know, if somebody's looking for a drone of a lesser price point, it looks like it could be a pretty capable drone. But if I can get it airborne, I'm excited to share the experience with everyone. And that's, you know, I think these enhanced prices are going to bring some more competition to the table. And, you know, DJI, it's never had it, man. I mean, honestly, I don't know how companies like Autel, and I know why Parrot's still in business, because Parrot does all the toy things, but some companies, I just don't know how they're still around. I mean, a lot of them floundered. I mean, GoPro, the only reason they stuck around is that, well, drones weren't their thing. They're a camera company, action camera company. So when GoPro failed with Karma, they pulled the eject button too early, in my opinion. They could have made it work. But when their drone was recalled, the GoPro Karma, they just abandoned the drone business. But they got action cameras, they're fine. Some of those companies, what was the one? 3DR Solo, I think they went bankrupt. Flyer Jones says, I had a Parrot Anafi and Autel Evo, so both of them didn't like them. I never had the Autel. I had the Parrot Anafi, and it was cool, but, you know, as far as longevity of that investment, I had my doubts. I mean, the propellers were paper thin. You know, it's so thin that I would think if it hit a bee or something, you know, a large insect in flight, that it'd probably there's just nobody that can build a drone like DJI, you know, at least that I found yet. Speaking of that, the MacRib is back at McDonald's. Has nothing to do with drones, and it's a mystery meat, but yeah, I was eating a MacRib, and actually eating one today, and this bee came in the car and started, it landed on the rib, on the MacRib, and I had to evacuate because it was about to sting me. But yeah, that was pretty cool. The transmission on the Anafi was terrible in congested areas. Yeah, no doubt. You know, that's one area where DJI has really excelled. I mean, they've got their OcuSync. Well, you know, several more current versions of OcuSync now. I mean, it's it's been around for a while and it just keeps getting better. But yeah, you can't mess with OcuSync. It's such a good, not just for the control, but the the FPV experience. I mean, you're just getting a high class, highly sophisticated system, with the OcuSync. So it is great tech, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. None of these other drone companies can compete. It was fun back in the days, though, in the infancy of DJI. I remember it was like the Phantom 2, where you had to get the Zenmuse gimbal and all that. And that was a fun project. I remember having the GoPro. I think it was a GoPro Hero 4 at the time. And had that thing up in, when it was still permissible, had it up in British Columbia, flying it around. That was fun. Let's see. Adam says, DJI messed up these days. 3K drones, 7K cinema cameras, and action camera that overheats. It's funny you say action camera overheating, and I want to talk about GoPro for a minute. Fly-Right Drone says OcuSync 3 is amazing. I concur 100%. I've had problems with my GoPro Hero 9 Black, and actually it was so bad because I had it last year, and I was doing backpacking trip with it, and it was cold. It wasn't hot out, it was cold out, and it would continue to lock up, the GoPro Hero 9 Black. So I actually sent it back to GoPro. They gave me a free replacement. Well, I've been using that GoPro Hero 9 Black replacement, latest firmware, everything, and it locked up on me a few times. So I'm hoping that GoPro's not going down a bad path, because they just released the GoPro Hero 10 Black a few weeks ago, and I didn't pick it up because the specs, although it has a faster processor, there wasn't anything like revolutionary that it brought to the table. But I hope that GoPro scraps the GoPro 9 and 10. For whatever reason, it's the only unreliable GoPro that I've owned, and it's a shame. But with that said, when it wasn't locked up, I captured some incredible footage from the Appalachian Trail and surrounding trails. So I'm going to be editing and posting that. Be sure to check out, and I haven't posted it yet, but be sure to check out my Andrews Bald hike. It's a mountain, man. You go up on top of this mountain. I think it's like maybe 6,000 feet. And I went up there with the GoPro Hero 9 Black, and it's just like a grassy spot, man. You just sit out, you can see these mountains in the background. And that was a cool hike. But I captured the hike in its entirety with my Hero 9 Black. It didn't crash a single time during that hike, so I was thrilled. There's another hike I was doing. Got to the top and discovered, oops, the GoPro wasn't recording because it had locked up after about 3 seconds. It was very disappointing. So, yeah, reliability with all this technology is so important. Adam says, I have a GoPro Hero 10, doesn't freeze up like the old ones, but it will overheat shooting long clips in 4K 60 or 4K 120, but not too bad. But that's good to hear. All of my filming was in, the Hero 9 Black was 4K 60. So I may actually trade up and get a Hero 10, but based upon what you just said, because it sounds like it's a lot more reliable. But again, reliability is so important, because if you don't, a lot of this stuff, you got one shot, one chance to get the perfect shot. And if you don't get it, then, if you don't get it because your camera equipment's failed you, it's very disappointing, especially when a lot of these adventures are influenced by capturing footage that can be monetized on YouTube. Because if you're incurring the expense to go on these adventures and then your equipment lets you down, well, it's great that you got a great experience in your head, but that experience doesn't pay the bills. You know, you gotta monetize it. And to do so, you gotta have a camera to reliably and effectively capture that experience. So yeah, for that reason, I'm not too hot on the GoPro Hero 9 Black right now. Although I did get some good stuff. It was just, there was a lot of stuff I missed, but I think I got a lot of the key moments from the Appalachian Trail and surrounding trails. So, but y'all are gonna like that, man. You're going through the clouds because the elevation's so high. I know compared to the Rockies that it's not as high of altitude, but you know, for the app, you know, over 6,000 feet is pretty significant. I mean, you know, you feel like you're up. You feel like you're up there, and you are. You're up there in the clouds, upon the weather conditions. But yeah, so got a bunch of cool videos coming. Been editing those. Like I said, I'm doing a live stream with Hybrid Life's emailed me, and we're going to be doing a live stream from the studio, which is always fun. And oh, I had a this was kind of bad. So I got the PlayStation 5 digital. I don't play a lot of games, but again, I do like to live stream with the gaming because that can be profitable. And yeah, so I had the box, the empty PlayStation 5 box. And this was kind of bad, but I just kind of set it down at a random place on the side of the street and just waited to see how long it would take to disappear. Surprisingly, and this was a high traffic area, you know, but not so much traffic to where people wouldn't be able to pull over and grab it. But it was there for a good 30 minutes. You know, some people got out and looked at it and realized it was just an empty box. And then they just set it back down. But somebody finally came and just picked up the box. So that was kind of interesting. I mean, what's the chances of driving down the road and seeing a PlayStation 5 on the side of the street? So that was kind of just a weird experiment. I wish I'd gotten more of it on video, but I didn't. I should have, because that would have made a great YouTube video. Got some coin videos coming, coin reviews. As you know, that's one of the big components of the channel. So got that coming. And get a lot more cooking videos too, working on some new and unique recipes, especially for the grill and the air fryer. If you don't have an air fryer, you're missing out. Air fried food, so good because you get the crispiness, but you don't get the grease. Now you can spritz the food that you're cooking in the air fryer with olive oil, but you don't have to. But it's maybe we even do salmon and ahi tuna. You don't really think of air frying fish, but actually it turns out really good. It gives it a very crispy texture on the outside. Not like super crispy, but just kind of crispy, and it locks in the juices. So you're getting a very moist and flavorful fish, but you're getting a texture on the outside that's almost like it's been, I don't know how to explain it. And just drizzle some lemon juice and stuff on top, and man, you're ready to rock and roll. So that's that's the other thing. I'm going to be working on those air fryer videos. And speaking of technology, man, there's always got to be something newer, better, and more exciting. And you know, drones have filled that void. I mean, drones came out of nowhere, and it's like, wow. But there's got to be something with that shock factor, like a drone, that's, you know, one would assume that something like that would come out soon. And what it's going to be, I don't know. You know, I was thinking for a long time that 360-degree video, spherical video, I was thinking that was going to be big. It never caught on, and I just don't get it. And I think it's because people are too lazy to manipulate the mouse or their fingers to watch something in 360. And then the other piece was that, a lot of people, these VR goggles, yeah, they're kind of cool. And their effects have gotten to be pretty immersive and convincing. But it's not something that, at least I know, I wouldn't want to do for an extended period of time. It's just too isolating, and it's just a weird kind of weird experience. I mean, it's cool, it's great tech, but yeah. So I don't think VR, virtual reality, I don't think that's the the next big thing. There's got to be something that none of us watching this have thought of. Adam says, I love my 360 cam. It's my favorite action camera. So when you use yours, do you publish in 360, or do you use yours as kind of like a camera that captures multiple angles and then edit and post as a standard widescreen video? How do you use it? Because that is kind of interesting. So I know several people that use them, and they like them because you get it's like having more than one camera in one. It's kind of interesting. GoPro released the GoPro Hero 10 Black, but they didn't release a 360. Adam says, I added in post-production as a standard shot. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the best use case for a 360 camera is doing that. I was excited when Final Cut Pro 10, this was a year or so ago now, when Final Cut Pro 10 added the ability to edit spherical VR video within Final Cut Pro. I thought that was cool. And it's never really been adopted. It's just like, oh, cool, y'all developed this technology. But I think, Adam, your use case of just using it as a, select the preferred camera perspective and edit in post-production, I think that's a good thing. And looking back on the the Appalachian Trail, if I'd had a 360 camera on top of my head or my backpack, that would have been great, because then I could have gone back within post and chosen whatever camera angle. Was there a mountain to the left, to the right? Was there a bear? Oh, and I got some more bear videos coming. Y'all don't worry about that. There were tons of bears in the Smoky Mountains. Ran into quite a few of them. I asked them, said, hey, bear, is it okay if I take your video and your photo? Oh, sure, no problem. So I got a lot of bear videos and a lot of bear photos. And some of those are already on Instagram, and I've got more photos coming to Instagram as well. I don't really like Instagram, but it's funny. It's an important platform, especially with the younger demographic. I mean, I ran into a lot of people, probably early 20s, and that's what they were doing. They were just doing all these Instagram photos. So, there's a demand for that. I'm the YouTube guy though, because I like the videos and that kind of stuff. I know you can do video with Instagram, but it is what it is. I think YouTube is the best platform, and I hope it continues to stay that way, because it just gets better. Definitely does. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a studio live show here. And let's see, today is Tuesday, so maybe Wednesday, maybe tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, tomorrow's Wednesday. That's what Siri said. Siri said tomorrow is Wednesday. Got a car turning in. But they let me go ahead, which is good. So I got to get my exercise. Yep. So, yeah, just rocking and rolling. Got a few projects going on as well. Can't wait to reveal those on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/IRIXGuy, where you're watching this. So, yeah, a bunch of good stuff. Speaking of that, I think I'm going to go air fry some fish. Air fried fish. So, Yeah, it's I haven't seen a dog,
Thank you.
but I've been walking 5 times and I haven't seen one.
Thank you.
No problem. Somebody was looking for a dog. Woof woof. So, yep. So that's what's going on. So I've got a bunch of new videos coming soon, very soon. Like I said, I'm editing all of them because I've been out on the Appalachian Trail, so I didn't have my technology with me. I just had the cameras and the solar battery bank to recharge everything. So yeah, but I've got all of that coming to the channel, and it's gonna be fun. But appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and air fry some fish. So subscribe, stay tuned, ring that bell icon. And I've got tons more videos coming soon. And if anybody out there has drones that you want me to review, if you work for a drone company, shoot me a message. I'm looking for drones to review. But I'm not gonna be buying the Mavic 3. It's just too expensive for me. Not saying it's not good, but it's just too expensive for me. So appreciate your viewership.